What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. Now, I'm going to close out Black History Month, all right, for February. Because to me, Black History Month starts January 1, okay? And it ends December 31st, all right? And then it starts back up, January 1, all right? But for the official government, Black History Month, I'm going to end it, all right, with one of our most important heroes, one of the most important and powerful Americans to ever exist. You hear what I said? Americans. Like, most powerful, impactful, strong American heroes ever to exist. One of the most patriotic Americans when it comes to what an actual American is supposed to be like, because African Americans display what it is to be a true American. Just like African Americans display what it is to be a true Christian, and African Americans also display what it is to truly serve Islam. And African Americans also show what it is to be spiritual. Like, we are the manifestation of all those things that people strive to be when we're in our frame. And we're talking about Fannie Lou Hamer, all right? A revolutionary, a warrior, a freedom fighter, one of African Americans' most powerful, noted heroes of the past, one of our honored ancestors, all right, with her beautiful Black African phenotype. She was beautiful. Her figure was one of fertility. The figure that Fannie Lou Hamer carried along with her through her life was the figure that our ancient Africans deified as the mother of humanity, as the bringer of life and fertility and joy and love. She was unmistakably West African, unmistakably Central African, unmistakably African. And she carried that African power with her through her struggles for freedom and liberation for her people. And while we talk about and highlight all these other heroes that we have in America, we must make sure we put some respect on the names of those who've been denied recognition because of the level of power that they possessed. Because if any Black woman were to be motivated to hear the story of Fannie Lou Hamer, it would motivate them to be just like her. Just like we have Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett is what we would consider a modern manifestation of Hamer. And that's why she's being attacked the same way Fannie Lou Hamer got attacked when she was coming up, by the same dubious individuals within her own community, Black misogynistic men in the church, Christian men, the old manosphere, the old red pill community, who attacked her while she was trying to liberate her people. As the Black women who follow in her footsteps are currently being attacked by the same charlatans within the Black community. While our Black women are trying to do the real work of liberation, we have these charlatans and white supremacy shields in the Black community that are attacking them. And we must keep that in mind when we talk about these people. All right? But anyway, without further ado, let's learn a little something about one of America's greatest civil rights heroes, one of America's greatest Americans, and one of Africa's greatest daughters, Fannie Lou Hamer. Anyway, tell me what you got to think in the comment section. This is Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.
She was the youngest of 20 children, with just 6 years of schooling, working cotton fields in the Mississippi Delta. By every measure, Fannie Lou Hamer should have been erased from history. Instead, she became the civil rights movement's most fearless voice. In 1961, a white doctor performed an unwanted surgery that took away her ability to have children, a common violation against Black women in the Jim Crow South. But August 27, 1962 changed everything. At 44, Hamer learned she had the right to vote. 4 days later, she boarded a bus to register. She failed the literacy test. She was fired from her job of 18 years and evicted from her home. That September, white supremacists fired 16 bullets into the house where she was staying. She had left hours before. She didn't run. She became a voting rights organizer at 45. June 9, 1963, arrested in Winona, Mississippi. In custody, she was assaulted by other prisoners at the direction of law enforcement, left with permanent kidney damage, a blood clot behind her eye, and a limp for life. Released to learn that fellow leader Medgar Evers had just been killed, she kept organizing. August 22, 1964, Hamer testified at the Democratic National Convention. President Johnson tried to silence her by calling a press conference. Her testimony aired to millions anyway. Is this America? The land of the free and the home of the brave? Where we have to sleep with our telephones off the hook because our lives be threatened daily because we want to live as decent human beings. When offered 2 at-large seats excluding her, she refused. We didn't come all this way for no 2 seats. In 1969, she launched Freedom Farm Cooperative. Nearly 700 acres, feeding families, building housing, creating economic power. She co-founded the National Women's Political Caucus. She ran for Congress. She ran for state senate. She lost. She never stopped. In 1968, finally seated as a delegate, standing ovation. March 14, 1977. She died of breast cancer at 59. At her funeral, they sang her favorite song, one last time, This Little Light of Mine, a sharecropper who became a stateswoman. Some voices cannot be silenced.
We've all heard the names of Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks, but what about Fannie Lou Hamer? Her story deserves more than a single line in a history book. Imagine a sharecropper, a woman silenced for years, rising on a national stage. Her voice, raw and powerful, cracks through the facade of a segregated America. She asks a question that echoes through history. Is this America? This is the story of Fannie Lou Hamer, a civil rights titan whose courage challenged a nation. Join us as we delve into the life and legacy of this unsung hero. Early life. Born on October 6, 1917, in Montgomery County, Mississippi, Fannie Lou Townsend entered a world of profound racial and economic oppression. As the youngest of 20 children,
is drenched with our blood. Because you see, so many of our ancestors was killed because we have never accepted slavery. We had to live on it, but we've never wanted it. So we know that this flag is drenched with our blood. So what the young people are saying now, give us a chance to be young men, respected as a man. As we know, this country was built on the black backs of black people across this country. And if we don't have it, you ain't gonna have it either, because we gonna tear it up. That's what they saying. And people ought to understand that. I don't see why they don't understand that. They know what they've done to us. All across this country, they know what they've done to us. As we know, this country was built on the black backs of black people across this country. And if we don't have it, you ain't gonna have it either, because we gonna tear it up.
If you've got the land and the money, but not the numbers, it's natural, as Humphreys McGee says, to want control. In Mississippi, white control has made the past hard to distinguish from the present. More than anyone else, the spirit of resistance to this control has been Fannie Lou Hamer. At the 1964 Democratic Convention, Mrs. Hamer was a leader of the attempt to unseat the regular Democratic delegation from Mississippi.
Mississippi is still a very rough place. You know, people is not just walking up like they used to do in the past, walking out, you know, shooting a man down or getting maybe 200 or 300 people carrying you out and lynching you, but it's in a more settled way. You know, they can let you starve to death, not give you jobs. These are some of the things that's happening right now in Mississippi. See, Mississippi is not actually Mississippi's problem. Mississippi is America's problem. Because if America wanted to do something about what has been going on in Mississippi, it could have stopped by now. It wouldn't have been in the past few years between 40 and 50 churches bombed and burned. You see, and this lead me to say, all of the burning and bombing that was done to us in the houses, nobody never said too much about that, and nothing was done. But let something be burned, by a black man, and then, my God, you see, the flag is drenched with our blood. Because, you see, so many of our ancestors was killed because we have never accepted slavery. We had to live on it, but we've never wanted it. So we know that this flag is drenched with our blood. So what the young people are saying now, give us a chance to be young men, respected as a man, as we know this country was built on the black backs of black people across this country. And if we don't have it, you ain't gonna have it either, because we gonna tear it up. That's what they saying. And people ought to understand that. I don't see why they don't understand that. They know what they've done to us. All across this country, they know what they've done to us. This country is desperately sick, and man is on the critical list. I really don't know where we go from here.
My name is Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer, and I live at 626 East Lafayette Street, Roosevelt, Mississippi. Sunflower County, the home of Senator James O. Eastland and Senator Stinney. All of this is on account of we want to register to become first-class citizens. And if the Freedom Democratic Party is not seated now, I question America. Is this America, the land of the free and the home of the brave, where we have to sleep with our telephones off of the hook because our lives be threatened daily, because we want to live as decent human beings in America? Thank you. We've been down so long, we ain't got no other way to go but up. My name is Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer.
I'm Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer.
One day you'll be proud when you can say, Senator Fannie Lou Hamer, because I'm on my way, baby.
I hate you because you hate me. I'm no better than you are.
Freedom is not something that's put in your lap. You got to stand up.
Now time for America to wake up. We have never accepted slavery.
We have been black, powerless people for 400 years.
We know that this flag is drenched with our blood.
All of this is on account of we want to register to become first-class citizens. And if the Freedom Democratic Party is not seated now, I question America.
All we want to do is to make these people understand that we are human beings and we can work together.
And all they want is the thing that they've been reading about, and for this country to have democracy in action.
I'm thinking about what you gonna do for my people in December.
This is what black power means. We want to have something to say about our destiny.
Because all of these people here, we got to do something. We are tired of people saying that we are satisfied because we are everything but satisfied. And we got to let people know how we feel.
We are human beings, and we are not stopping now till we get something that's better.
Now, y'all know I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And if you're not, you must not be paying attention. You ever heard of Fannie Lou Hamer? She's the one who said that. And if you haven't heard about her, it's because history doesn't like telling stories about black women who refused to shut up and play nice. This woman was a sharecropper with no formal education who took on the U.S. government, the Democratic Party, and white supremacists, and she won. Fannie Lou Hamer was born in 1917 into a sharecropping family in Mississippi, meaning she grew up working for white landowners who paid black families pennies. In 1962, at 44 years old, she tried to register to vote, something that could get you killed in Mississippi. That night, her boss fired her, armed men hunted her, and her life changed forever. But instead of backing down, this woman fought back. Hamer became one of the leading voices of the civil rights movement and co-founded the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party to challenge an all-white Democratic Party in Mississippi. In 1964, she led a delegation to the Democratic National Convention, demanding that the MFDP be recognized. She gave a speech on national television describing how she was beaten in jail for just trying to vote. President Lyndon B. Johnson was so afraid of her impact, he interrupted her broadcast with a fake press conference to stop people from hearing her. She said, "Is this America, the land of the free and the home of the brave, where we have to sleep with our telephones off the hook because our lives be threatened daily, just because we want to live as decent human beings?" That speech changed everything. It forced the Democratic Party to reform their racist policies. It led to the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Hamer fought for voting rights, economic justice, and Black political power, the same things that are still under attack today. The voter suppression that she faced looks a lot like what's happening right now, from voter ID laws to gerrymandering. And just like then, Black women are still the backbone of democracy, but rarely get credit. If you care about voting rights today, you owe Miss Hamer her flowers. And her most famous quote, "I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired," still holds true today. Fannie Lou Hamer wasn't a politician. She wasn't rich. She wasn't famous. She was just a woman who decided enough was enough. So, say her name, Fannie Lou Hamer.
Mr. Chairman, and to the Credentials Committee, my name is Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer, and I live at 626 East Lafayette Street, Rooseville, Mississippi. Sunflower County, the home of Senator James O. Eastland and Senator Stinney. All of this is on account of we want to register to become first-class citizens. And if the Freedom Democratic Party is not seated now, I question America. Is this America, the land of the free and the home of the brave, where we have to sleep with our telephones off of the hook because our lives be threatened daily, because we want to live as decent human beings in America?
She didn't ask to be liked, she demanded to be heard. I walk with the ancestor Fannie Lou Hamer because her voice was a weapon. She spoke truth to power to where she made systems tremble. She reminded us that being sick and tired of being sick and tired was a weakness. It was clarity. She didn't ask to be liked, she demanded to be heard. She said there's no need of running or saying you're not going to get in the mess. Because if you're born with a black face in this country, you are already in the mess. So you can pray until you faint, but God is not going to put it in your lap. Look, family, this is not just spiritual, it's strategic. Prayer without action is performance, and we've performed long enough.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate, you should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Free Sudan, boycott diamonds and gold. Free Sudan, boycott diamonds and gold. We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan.
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.